So we are back. I'm back again. We are. So we have example 5. Example 5 says we teach English language. So you can see we here is first person plural pronoun. So we is plural. So you underline we and then you point your arrow downward in the second line and then the third line you write your S2. And then teach there is also you underline teach, and when you underline teach, you draw your arrow downward in the second line and the third line write your V2. So teach becomes our V2, that plural verb. So we teach English. We have we as our S2 and we have our teach as our V2. So we go to example 6. Example 6 says my cats sleep on my bed. My cats sleep on my bed. Okay. Before we go to that, let me go back to 5 and just draw attention. So we teach English and you cannot say we teaches English language. It's wrong to say that. We plural, we teach without an S. So we go to example 6 now. Example 6 says my cats sleep on my bed. So you underline my cats. It's not only one. They are 2, 3, or 4. Okay, so my cats sleep on my bed. My cats sleep on my bed. So when you underline my cats, your arrow points downward in the second line and the third line you write your S2 there. So we have our sleep. You underline sleep, and then when you underline sleep, your arrow points downward in the second line and the third line you write your V2. So we have my cats there as our S2 and it has taken sleep as our V2. You cannot say my cat sleeps on my bed. It is wrong to say that. So that's why we are correcting. So we go to our example 7. Example 7 says the two countries ban smoking in public. The two countries ban smoking in public. So you have the two countries already, that is plural. So when you underline the two countries, then your arrow points downward in the second line and the third line, you write your S2. So the two countries becomes our S2, and then ban without an S, you underline ban, and then in the second line your arrow points downward and below the arrow, that's in the third line, right, of V2. So we have the two countries, it's our S2 and that's taking ban as our V2. Okay, so there we have our S2 has taken V2. You cannot say the two countries bans smoking in public. It is wrong to say that. So we have the last example, of course, that is 8 now. 8 says we are traveling home. We are traveling home. That is example 8 says we are traveling home. So here we have we, that is first person plural pronoun. You underline it and then your arrow points downward in the second line, and then in the third line you write your S2. So we here is our S2, and then there is we underline and then your arrow points downward in the second line, and the third line write your V2. So we have becomes our V2. So we are traveling home. There we is our S2 and it has taken as our V2. You cannot say we is traveling home. You see it? So I think we have arrived at the last example there. So that's what we have for you today. You can see the beauty of the presentation. Okay, so when you see some people speaking English, you don't approach them directly. You're in an uncivilized manner. You just invite, you tell them, you draw their attention to the error. If they allow you to correct it, you do it. If they don't allow you, you leave it. That is your field. Just like that, you cannot teach an automobile engineer how to do his work. This is actually a professional, okay? You get angry. But of course, if you draw his attention to something and he likes it and it has brought a new idea into his profession, I think you will like it and appreciate it and even thank you. So that is what we have for you today under this presentation. You can see English is very, very interesting, of course. Till we meet again in the next 24 hours. I think from henceforth, we are going to have a 24 hours presentation. That is everyday presentation, as was our practice in the past. Thank God we have relocated into a new environment and things are changing. Okay. So I think the days of writing news about Kaduna School is over. Now we'll be writing stories from a new environment, the change of weather, everything, market activities, price of items, everything. Probably if we have the chance to visit courts, but not now for a reason. So thank you very much for your attention, and have a very beautiful afternoon till we meet again in the next 24 hours. Bye bye from Be Tell You Alright.